Hey guys, I was asked to do a beauty collection and I have managed to declutter my makeup collection to basically fit all into this one drawer, and I'm really proud with how much I have managed to declutter it. I know it's still a lot of makeup, but I am hoping within my no buy low buy year of 2021 that I'll manage to use up a lot of the product and also to not expand it by much depending on the few purchases that I might make throughout the year. So starting over here, I have, let me just push this in a bit. So I have this nice clear organizer, and just in front of it I have some beauty blenders, so some fresh ones, and also my hand sanitizer, which is the Paume hand sanitizer, and this is perfect because I like to wash my hands with a hand sanitizer if I haven't had the chance to with soap and water before doing my makeup. This section right here is a little bit of like skin prep, makeup prep before I get into my face products, so I'll go through these quickly. I've got my Supergoop Zinc Screen SPF 40. This is my sunscreen. It is basically a mineral sunscreen with the zinc as its active ingredient. And I like how it's got a bit of a pink tint to it, so it doesn't actually leave you with a white cast, which is really great in my opinion, because sometimes it's really difficult to blend in mineral sunscreen. So you can see it basically just absorbs into my skin really nicely. So yes, this is definitely a must. I have a few primers in here that I am trying to use up in 2021. We have the Ilia True Skin Radiant Priming Serum. This I've used a few times. It's basically a really lightweight, kind of translucent, clear priming serum, but I don't really reach for it a lot. I also have this face oil in here. This is by 𝒷𝕗𝕚𝕚 Glow Face Oil, and I've actually used quite a bit of it already. And this is primarily what I'll use to prep my skin pre-sunscreen for makeup, because it just leaves your skin super dewy, super hydrated, and allows those like cream foundations to just melt into the skin. So I really do love this. And I think I'm much more into skincare as my makeup prep than I am like an actual primer. So I'm going to use these up so that they're used and not wasted. But I don't think I'll be purchasing a specific designated primer again. This is another travel size I have from Rare Beauty. It is their Illuminating Primer. It has kind of like a nice shimmery, kind of pinky, I almost call it like a little bit of a moonlight glow, and it is a cream product. It is nice, and I do like having a bit of an illuminating base. So yes, it is nice. It has maybe a tad of a blurring effect, but not really. So yes, I'm trying to use this up. And the last kind of like radiance base I have is the Rms Master Mixer. And this has a bit more of a rose gold shade to it in comparison to the Rare Beauty one, which has like product all over it. Oh well. So I've purchased this recently and I do want to use this up. I also have this Tower 28 Daily, what is this? Rescue Facial Spray. I don't really have a lot of thoughts to this. This was PR, but it doesn't have a lot of ingredients. It's basically a normal saline solution, so it's basically water, I think sodium chloride, and also this other ingredient called hypochlorous acid, which is kind of like an antibacterial ingredient. This combination of ingredients is commonly used actually as a wound healing solution, so it's not totally new to me in terms of the medical field. We have used a solution very similar to this without, you know, the actual percentages outlined in here, but yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. So I have this. It is a nice hydrating solution, but definitely not something I would repurchase based on the price and the ingredients. And then lastly for spray, I have the Lilah B. This is the Aglow Face Mist. I'm just about done. I barely have any product. It's hard to see in the bottle, but I'm maybe just down to here. I do really like this. It is a very expensive product, but I think I will be repurchasing this once it is completely done and once I'm finished this and I have no facial mist left. I also have my Henné lip mask. This is just a nice kind of super hydrating lip prep before I do any lipsticks that may kind of cake up in my lips. And then I also have this Kora Organics. This is the under eye, I think it's like a eye oil. This was sent to me. I haven't really used this frequently, but I don't know, I have it in here. It's not really like an everyday used product. Okay, so in here I've got a lot of like highlights and face sticks and cream products, and here I have mostly complexion products with a few of my Westman Atelier eye pods. So let's start with complexion because that would naturally be my next step. I'm just going to take these eye pods out of here. So for complexion, we're left with very few products. I don't have many liquid products, but the first one I have is the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint SPF 40. This is definitely more of my like summer foundation prep that I'll use, and this is in the shade, what shade is this? Aura. So I do like this. I don't tend to gravitate towards it very frequently in the wintertime, but I do like that. I also have, this is, I think that's the pipette or something, that's odd. See that? Weird. Shake it up. Huh. Weird. This is the Kjaer Weis Invisible Touch, I think, liquid foundation. The formula and the foundation slash product itself is really nice on the skin. It's just this application method with this really skinny pipette that doesn't actually hold a lot of product makes the application super annoying. I want to try and look past that because the product is really good and used it more frequently, but it definitely won't be a repurchase for me based on like the fuss of actually using it. The last two, I guess like foundations, you would call it, the Westman Atelier Vital Skin Foundation. This is in the shade Atelier 2. And you guys know I love this foundation. It's kind of like a foundation concealer in one. And I also have new to my collection this Merit. This is called the Perfecting Complexion Stick in the shade Linen. Similar to the Westman Atelier one, it is essentially a foundation concealer in one. It's kind of neither, but it blurs imperfections. It has more of a light medium coverage. And then the only two concealers I have are these two. So the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. I've talked about this many times. I really like it. It's a kind of creamy liquid concealer. This one is in the shade Chicory. So I do love this concealer. And then I also have this cream potted concealer by 𝒐𝒻 in the shade Honey. Really great concealer. It looks beautiful on the skin to be worn alone. My only disclaimer is that the shade range is super poor. They only have 6 shades, so it's not very inclusive, but for my skin tone, the performance is really nice. And then I also just have a little pencil sharpener. I'll go over the other few products I have in here. The Westman Atelier eye pods. So I have the Les Jours color. So this is Neige. Chocolat, oops, and Tobacco, and these just hang out in here. And then I also, in this little linen pouch, have the Les Nuits. Oopsie. So this one's the champagne color. This one is Vin Rouge, which is red wine, and then I think this one's Noir, which is the black. And I don't actually have a lot of eyeshadows. As you'll see, I kind of very infrequently wear eyeshadow, and I find these honestly enough. So let's put my complexion products back. I kind of put the products in order of how frequently I would use them. Over here, let me just scooch you over. Okay, so over here I have the products that are kind of like face products that are mostly in stick forms. I have some stick forms over here, but they're mostly over here. I pretty much have all of my Westman Atelier sticks here, so I'll go through them. I've got my contour stick, which is in the shade Biscuit. I've got the 𝔽𝔹 blush. It's kind of like a warm peachy beige nude. The Lit Up highlight stick in the shade Lit, which is kind of like a translucent, pearly, iridescent, cool tone shade. The limited edition Baby Cheeks blush in the shade Mimi from the 𝒷𝕗 box, which is kind of more of a neutral, browny, kind of nude shade. And my last Baby Cheeks I own is Petal, which is more of like a rosy, kind of cool tone pink. And then a limited edition Lit Up stick in the shade Nectar, which is more of a warm, translucent, jelly highlighter from the 𝒷𝕗 box. So those are all the Westman Atelier sticks. Back here I've got two Ilia multi-sticks in the shade I Put a Spell on You, which is a nice bright tangerine color, perfect for the summer. And Ladybird, which is definitely more of a kind of nudie brown mauve shade. I've got two OG sticks here, a highlight in the shade Opal, which is kind of like a pearly white, and also Carnelian, which is a pretty punchy rose color. In some pots, I've got the RMS Living Luminizer, which is gorgeous. And I also have this Mana Size 7. I think this is the Rosette kind of bronzer highlight. And then I also have this Merit highlight stick. It's very juicy and balmy, and this is in the shade Bounce, very similar to the Westman Atelier highlight sticks in terms of formulations. Bringing you over to this side. Here are some other complexion products. So I've got my two kind of setting products. The Well People, this is the Bio-Based Baked Universal Glow. This is a pressed, kind of luminous setting powder. And then I also have the Ilia Fade Into You, which is a loose, more mattifying, translucent setting powder. So those are my only setting powders. I do have quite a few bronzers. The Well People Bio-Based Baked Bronzer in Natural Tan. This is a really beautiful, warm, luminous bronzer. I do really like this. A newer product is the Tarte. This is in the shade Seychelles. It's kind of reminiscent of the Chanel Teint de Soleil. It's a cream. And in terms of ingredients, this is actually pretty clean. Over here I've got some extra bronzers that I'm kind of undecided about. The Kosas Sunshow bronzer in Light. It's a bit warm and quite luminous and a bit more shimmery than the Well People, so I'm not sure how I feel about it. The Ilia Drawn In bronzer. This is a matte bronzer, and I think this is better for my summer complexion, which is why it's tucked back there. I also have the RMS Beauty Luminizing Powder in Grande Dame, which is more of like a pow, definitely a bit of a more strobing highlight in my opinion. Okay, I'll go back here. I've got this Merit kind of blush stick in the shade, I think it's Terracotta, yeah. It's definitely more of like a brownie tone. This is an all over color by Manicai in the shade Bisque. I've got two bronzing sculpted face sticks from OG, the shade Copper and Amber. Some are a little bit better for fairer or more tan skin tones. And then I have this powder blush from RMS Beauty. This is in Lost Angel. It's got some like gold shimmer in there. It's a pretty new product to me. I haven't had quite the chance to test that out. I also, just tucked back here, I have this 𝒂𝓐𝓗 honey, what is this called? Not honey pot, carrot color pot in Healthy. It's a beautiful color, but the consistency is a bit kind of tacky and like a lip gloss, so I'm not sure how I feel about this yet. I have some extra products here, so all of my Westman Atelier compacts and then a few other ones. So I've got this Hand Cosmetics Blossom blush. This is a really pretty, one of probably my only powder blushes that I like. I have the Tower 28. This is the Beach Please in Magic Hour. Really like this. And then also the Kjaer Weis Blossoming Blush. You can kind of see they're similar. Let me do a side by side. Sorry, this is not Blossoming, this is Sun Touch. They're kind of similar. This Kjaer Weis one may be a tiny bit more pinky, but yeah, they kind of look similar on the cheeks. I think I'm really drawn to this shade. I have the Lilah B Glisten and Glow in Be Enchanting. This is one of my favorite highlighters. The Westman Atelier Butter Bronzer. And my 3 super loaded tinted highlights by Westman Atelier. The Peau de Rosé. Peau de Pêche, which is one of my favorites. And lastly, Peau de Soleil. Alright, opening this back up, I've got a kind of like eye and brow drawer and then lips. So I'll quickly go through in categories the mascaras. I've got a Westman Atelier I Love You mascara sample. The Merit Beauty mascara that I got in PR. It's not my favorite one, but I'm gonna maybe keep trying it. The Ilia Limitless Lash is one of my favorite mascaras. And then the Bite Beauty mascara. This one's like super volumizing, but because the wand is so big, it's a little bit challenging to work with. Brow products. I have 4. The Plume Brow Pomade in Ashy Daybreak, which I sometimes use for a bolder brow. I have this Rare Beauty eye pencil, or brow pencil I should say, that I wasn't really a fan of when I got it and tested Rare Beauty products, but I'm going to try giving it a second chance. And then 2 brow gel products. I bought this one from Merit Beauty, and this one's actually pretty nice. It's a bit of a drier formula and it does a really nice job. And this Milk Makeup, this is the Kush Fiber Brow. It's a bit of a smaller brush, and I'm testing this one out. For liners, I've got 1 liquid by Zuzu Luxe, and I've got 4 pencils. I've got the Alima Pure in Patina, the 𝒂𝓐𝓗 in Stone, this Charlotte Tilbury in Walk of No Shame, and this by Mario in, I think, the Perfect Brown. Few liquid kind of stick eyeshadows, and they're all kind of similar in shade. This coppery one in Sheen, this more bronzy one in Fresco, and 2 Juice Beauty ones in Prosecco and Mimosa. And then my lips, It's really tucked back in here. So I've got 3 Kosas lipsticks, and these are, not gonna lie, like really kind of similar. So let me just see. We have Undone, Stardust, and Rosewater. I've definitely used Rosewater the most, and then Stardust, and then Undone, but they're all kind of like neutrally rose mauvey tones. We have True Red, Rosette, and then this one is Flame. I really only have 2 lip glosses. This Tower 28 one, I think this one's called, yeah, Chill, which is just a clear, and then the Fit Glow in Buff. I'm not really a lip gloss person. I have this OG Hydroganic Sculpted Lip Oil. It's got some hemp in it, and this was amazing for hydrating the lips. This Rare Beauty, like bright orangey red, kind of like souffle matte liquid lip. This is in the shade Inspire. And I've got one of these Juice Beauty kind of lip crayons in Selena's. And then I only have 3 lip liners. I've got this Lily Lola one in this kind of nude shade. The Kjaer Weis Classic Red. And this one in Mauve by Kjaer Weis. So that is it. That is my capsule beauty collection. All of my makeup products that I will be using for 2021, hopefully hitting pan on quite a few of them and reducing the amount of products I own and purchase. So this will be pretty much what you guys are going to see on my face for the next several months. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!